students? We are discussing leaf modifications, right? Leaf modifications are of various types. Number 1, leaf tendrils. Number 2, spines. Number 3, scale leaves. Number 4, phyllodes. Number 5, reproductive leaves. Number 6, trap leaves. Number 7, absorbing leaves. Yes or no? Yesterday we completed leaf tendrils, spines, scale leaves and phyllodes, right? Now go for number 5. What's her? Reproductive leaves. Which leaves, sir? Reproductive leaves. Sir, name itself indicates these leaves are used for reproduction. Therefore, this is the leaf modification which is used for reproduction. Which reproduction, sir? Vegetative reproduction, but not sexual reproduction. Okay? Therefore, reproductive leaves are used for what? Vegetative reproduction. Reproductive leaves are used for vegetative reproduction. Is it okay? Now listen the statements carefully. See this diagram. Sir, this is a leaf, sir. What is this one, sir? Leaf. Sir, on leaf buds are present. See? Sir, these buds are present where, sir? On the leaf. So we are calling these buds as epiphyllous buds or epiphyllous buds. Name itself indicates, you see? Sir, this bud is present on the leaf. Epi, above, phyllous, leaf. Therefore, bud present on leaf called as what, sir? Epiphyllous bud. Is it okay? Right? For example, this is a stem. This is a node. Now you tell me, sir, this is stem, sir. This is a leaf, sir. What this becomes, sir? Axil. Axil contains which bud, sir? Axillary bud. Now you tell me, is this epiphyllous bud present in the axil of leaf, sir? No. Epiphyllous bud is not present in the axil of the leaf. Therefore, epiphyllous bud is not an axillary bud. It is a adventitious bud. Epiphyllous bud is a which bud, sir? Adventitious bud, but not a axillary bud. Is it okay? Right? Sir, this epiphyllous bud, which bud, sir? Epiphyllous bud develops into a small plant. Epiphyllous bud develops into a small plant, right, with adventitious roots. With what, sir? Adventitious roots. It means, sir, epiphyllous bud, when it is present on the leaf of the parent plant, the epiphyllous bud has developed into a small plant with adventitious roots. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, buds present on leaf. What are buds present on leaf called as epiphyllous or epiphyllous buds? Epiphyllous or epiphyllous buds. Okay. Sir, leaf. If that leaf is with epiphyllous or epiphyllous buds, then that leaf is called as a reproductive leaf. Yes or no? Reproductive leaf. Is this statement okay? Therefore, leaf with epiphyllous buds, that leaf is called as reproductive leaves. Okay. Sir, this epiphyllous bud, which bud, sir? Epiphyllous bud, right? This epiphyllous bud is a adventitious bud. Epiphyllous bud is which bud, sir? It is a adventitious bud, but not a axillary bud. Sir, axillary bud means it should be in the axil of the leaf. Is this epiphyllous bud present in the axil of the leaf? No. Therefore, it is not a axillary bud. It's not an axillary bud. Okay, right? Epiphyllous bud Which bud, sir? Epiphyllous bud. When present, epiphyllous bud when present on a leaf of a parent plant. When the epiphyllous bud is present on the leaf of the parent plant, what happens? It develops. It develops into a small plant. Develops into a small plant with what, sir? Adventitious roots. With what, sir? Adventitious roots. Is this statement okay? Sir, is this epiphyllous bud separated from the leaf and fallen on the soil and then developed into a small plant with adventitious roots? No. When this epiphyllous bud is still on the leaf of the parent plant, this epiphyllous bud has developed into a small plant. Developed into a smaller plant with which roots, sir? With adventitious roots. With which roots, sir? Adventitious roots. Okay. Now go for examples of reproductive leaves. Examples of what, sir? Reproductive leaves. First example. I am writing examples of reproductive leaves. First example is bryophyllum. Bryophyllum. Sir, this is the leaf of bryophyllum, sir. This is the leaf of bryophyllum. Sir, bryophyllum is a xerophyte, sir. Bryophyllum is what, sir? Xerophyte. It is a leaf succulent xerophyte. Which succulent xerophyte it is? Leaf succulent xerophyte. It is a leaf succulent xerophyte. Okay, is it root succulent or stem succulent or leaf succulent, sir? It is a leaf succulent. Asparagus, root succulent. Opentia, euphorbia, stem succulents. Whereas bryophyllum is a leaf succulent. It is a leaf succulent xerophyte. Now you see, sir, this is a bryophyllum I am saying, right? Sir, in case of bryophyllum, where epiphyllous buds are present, they are present in the margins. Which margins, sir? Crenate margins. Crenate margin means with ups and downs. See here, this margin is with ups and downs. Such margins are called as crenate margins. Sir, in these crenate margins, epiphyllous buds are present in the notches, in the depressions. You see carefully. Yes or no? Epiphyllous buds are present in the notches, they are present in the depressions. Is it okay? In the case of which plant, sir? Bryophyllum. Therefore, in the case of which plant? Bryophyllum, write epiphyllous buds. Epiphyllous buds, where they are present? Epiphyllous buds present in the notches. Present in the notches. Present in the notches of which margins, sir? Crenate margins. Present in the notches of crenate margins. This statement is important. Present in the notches of crenate margins. Sir, here how many bryophyllum leaves are there? One leaf. But having how many epiphyllous buds? More than one. Yes or no? Therefore, one bryophyllum leaf. I am speaking about bryophyllum. One bryophyllum leaf contains many epiphyllous buds. One bryophyllum leaf contains how many epiphyllous buds, sir? Contains many epiphyllous buds. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, this is the first example. What, sir? Bryophyllum. Right? Now go for number 2. Second example. We are discussing examples for what, sir? Reproductive leaves, right? Now go for the second example. What is the second example, sir? Scilla. What it is, sir? Scilla. Sir, what is the common name of Scilla, sir? Squill. Yes or no? Squill. Right, we got it in tunicated bulb. We got this example in tunicated bulb. Right? Sir, this which plant? Scilla. In case of Scilla, sir, this is leaf, sir. What is this one, sir? Leaf. Sir, can I call this one as a leaf apex? What, sir? Leaf apex. This leaf apex contains what, sir? Epiphyllous bud. Leaf apex is having which bud, sir? Leaf apex is having epiphyllous bud. Leaf apex is having which bud, sir? Epiphyllous bud, right? This epiphyllous bud develops into a small plant. Sir, one bud develops into how many plants? One plant. With which roots? Adventitious roots. Therefore, in case of which plant, sir? Scilla. In case of a scilla, there is a squill, right? Epiphyllous bud. Epiphyllous bud, where it is present. Epiphyllous bud in a leaf apex. Epiphyllous bud is present in the leaf apex. See this diagram. Sir, in this diagram, one leaf is with how many epiphyllous buds, sir? One epiphyllous bud. I am speaking about scilla, right? Therefore, in case of scilla, one leaf contains one epiphyllous bud. One leaf is with how many epiphyllous buds? One epiphyllous bud. Is it okay? Now go for third example. Number 3. Third example for reproductive leaves. Begonia. Begonia. You should be very careful. This is not bignonia. It is begonia. Sir, in case of begonia, wherever the leaf is injured, right, there epiphyllous buds are developed. Therefore, epiphyllous buds are present. Epiphyllous buds present where? Epiphyllous buds are present in injured parts of leaf. Therefore, in which parts of a leaf, sir? In the injured parts of a leaf, epiphyllous buds are present. In case of begonia, sir, in case of begonia, one leaf contains how many epiphyllous buds, sir? One leaf contains many epiphyllous buds. One leaf contains many epiphyllous buds. Is this statement okay? Therefore, in case of bryophyllum, epiphyllous buds are present in the notches of crenate margin. Crenate margin means margins with ups and downs. Okay. Whereas in scilla, right, epiphyllous bud is present in the leaf apex. Whereas in begonia, wherever the leaf is injured, there are going to see the epiphyllous buds. Is it okay? Right? We are discussing which leaves, sir? Reproductive leaves, right? Now, listen this statement. Ediantum. What is the plant name? Ediantum. Sir, this Ediantum is commonly called as a walking fern. What is the common name of Ediantum? Walking fern. The common name of Ediantum is walking fern. Sir, what is the meaning of a fern, sir? Fern means advanced pteridophytes. Ferns means what, sir? Advanced pteridophytes. Sir, what is the meaning of ferns, sir? Advanced pteridophytes are called as ferns. Okay, right? Sir, why this Ediantum plant is called as walking fern, sir? For example, this is a soil surface. What is this one, sir? This is a soil surface. This is a soil surface, right? Now, for example, this is Ediantum plant. This is which plant, sir? This is Ediantum plant. Now, on this Ediantum plant, right, for example, right, this is the leaf. What is this one, sir? Leaf. Sir, whenever the tip of the leaf comes in contact with the soil, what is coming in contact with the soil, sir? Tip of the leaf. I am speaking about a tip of the leaf, right? When tip of the leaf comes in contact with the soil, right, it develops into a new plant. Sir, again this plant is with what, sir? Leaf. Again, when leaf of this plant comes in contact with the soil, whenever the tip of the leaf comes in contact with the soil, it again develops into a new plant. Like this, this Adiantum plant, it is walking on the soil. Yes or no? That's why it is named as what, sir? Walking fern. Is it okay? Therefore, what is the plant name? Adiantum. Common name? Walking fern. What is the meaning of ferns? Advanced pteridophytes. Right? Therefore, sir, in Adiantum, in which plant, sir? In Adiantum. In Adiantum, that is in walking fern, leaf used for what? Vegetative propagation. Leaf is used for what, sir? Vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. Is it okay? Right? Now go for the next leaf modification. What it is, sir? Trap leaves. Number 6. Trap leaves. Now listen this statement. Sir, some plants they are growing in nitrogen deficient soils, sir. Some plants they are growing in nitrogen deficient soils. Such plants they are extracting the nitrogen. They are obtaining the nitrogen from insects. Obtaining nitrogen from insects. Does it mean that these plants are not photosynthetic? No, they are photosynthetic. Then why they are depending on insects, sir, for nitrogen? Why they are depending on insects for nitrogen, sir? Because they are growing in nitrogen deficient soils. Is it okay? Such plants are called as insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants. Insectivorous plants are carnivorous plants, right? Therefore, some plants depends on insects. Some plants depends on insects for what? Nitrogen. Why, sir? As these plants grows in what? Nitrogen deficient soils. Therefore, plants are growing in nitrogen deficient soil. So the plant it is extracting the nitrogen from insects. Sir, do all plants extracting the nitrogen from insects? No, some plants they are extracting the nitrogen from insects as these plants grows in nitrogen deficient soils. Such plants are called what are such plants called as insectivorous plants? What are such plants called as insectivorous plants? What is another name for insectivorous plants, sir? Carnivorous. What are such plants called as? Insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants. Is this statement okay? Insectivorous plants are what, sir? Carnivorous plants. Sir, insectivorous plants they are growing in nitrogen deficient soils. Yes or no? So they are extracting the nitrogen from insects. So we are calling them as insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants. Sir, insectivorous plants are photosynthetic. Insectivorous plants are photosynthetic. They are photosynthetic. Sir, then why they are depending on insects, sir, only for nitrogen? They are depending on insects only for nitrogen. Be careful, nitrogen is a macro element. Nitrogen is which element, sir? It is a macro element. Nitrogen is a macro element. Sir, macro elements are also called as macronutrients. What is another name for macro elements, sir? Macronutrients. Sir, macro means small or large? Large. It means these elements are required in large quantities for growth and development of the plant. The elements which are required in large quantities For growth and development of the plant, such elements are called as macro elements or macronutrients. Is this statement okay? Nitrogen is a macro element or macronutrient. It means plant requires nitrogen in large quantities for its growth and development. So nitrogen is a macro element or macronutrient. Is it okay? Right. Sir, we are discussing which leaves, sir? Trap leaves. Now listen, what are these plants called as, sir? Insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants? Yes or no? Right. What are the examples for these insectivorous plants? Examples for insectivorous plants. Examples for what, sir? Insectivorous plants. Number one, first example, Nepenthes. Nepenthes. Right. Number two, second example, Utricularia. What is the second example, sir? Utricularia. Utricularia. Right. Next, number three, third example, Drosera. 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 Fourth example is Dionia. Dionia. Therefore, Nepenthes, Utricularia, Drosera, Dionia. These are four examples of insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants. Sir, Nepenthes, common name I am writing. Pitcher plant. Yes or no? Pitcher plant. Right? Sir, Utricularia, common name is bladder. B-L-A-D-D-E-R. Bladderwort. W-O-R-T. Bladderwort. Sir, Drosera, common name is a sundew plant. What is the common name of Drosera, sir? Sundew plant. Sundew plant. Whereas Dionia, common name is a Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. Is it okay? Therefore, Nepenthes, pitcher plant, Utricularia, bladderwort, Drosera, sundew plant, Dionia, Venus flytrap. All these are examples for insectivorous plants or carnivorous plants, right? First example, what it is? Nepenthes. Nepenthes. Sir, what is the common name of Nepenthes, sir? Pitcher plant. Pitcher plant. Sir, this Nepenthes in India grows in Assam forest. In India, this Nepenthes plant grows in which forest, sir? Assam forest. Generally, you can see this Nepenthes in Assam forest in India. Okay, right? Now, I am drawing this Nepenthes plant. Now, listen here. Sir, in case of Nepenthes plant, in case of Nepenthes plant, in case of Nepenthes plant, this lower part of the petiole is modified into phyllodes. Sir, in case of Nepenthes, phyllodes is nothing but what, sir? Modified lower part of the petiole. Therefore, lower part of petiole. Lower part of the petiole is modified into phyllodes. Sir, this is upper part of the petiole, sir. What it is? Upper part of the petiole. It is modified into tendril. Stem tendril, leaf tendril. It is a part of leaf. So, it becomes which tendril, sir? Leaf tendril. Modified into what, sir? Leaf tendril. Therefore, leaf tendril is nothing but modification of which part of the petiole, sir? Upper part of the petiole. Therefore, upper part of petiole. Upper part of petiole is modified into leaf tendril. Therefore, sir, the petiole, lower part is modified into phyllodes, right? The upper part of the petiole is modified into leaf tendril. Sir, then what is this one, sir? Right, from here up to here, from here up to here, this is called as a picture. What it is called as a picture. These labelings are very, very important. Should be careful. Sir, picture. How this picture is formed, sir? It is nothing but a modification of a leaf lamina. It means when leaf lamina is modified, it develops into picture. Therefore, picture means nothing but what, sir? Modified leaf lamina. Modified leaf lamina. Modified leaf lamina. Right? Now, sir, what is this called as, sir? This is called as lid. L-I-D. Lid. Is it okay? Right? Sir, from where this lid is formed from? This lid is nothing but a modified leaf apex. Lid is nothing but what, sir? Modified leaf apex. Modified leaf apex. Sir, this lid is colorful. It is colorful. Lid is colorful. Sir, as it is colorful, it attracts insects. Attracts what, sir? Insects. Who is attracting the insects, sir? Lid. Sir, this lid is movable or immovable, sir? In it cannot move. Therefore, lid is immovable. It is immovable. Okay. Therefore, lid is nothing but modified leaf apex. Lid is colorful, attractive. It attracts the insects. It is immovable. Okay. Now, sir, this is called as rim. R-I-M. Rim. Sir, this rim contains nectar glands. Rim contains which glands, sir? Nectar glands. Nectar glands. Should be very careful. Generally, nectar glands are present in flower. Nectar glands are present in flower. But is this a flower? No. But here also nectar glands are present. Such nectar glands are called as extrafloral nectaries. What are such nectar glands called as? Extrafloral nectaries. Extrafloral nectaries. Extrafloral nectaries. Extrafloral nectaries are also called as external nectar glands. External. What, sir? External nectar glands. External nectar glands. Is it okay? Therefore, rim contains, what this rim contains, sir? Nectar glands. Generally, where nectar glands should be in the flower, but these nectar glands are not in the flower. That's why we are calling these nectar glands as extrafloral nectaries or external nectar glands. Is it okay? Right. Now, sir, this picture contains digestive glands. What this picture contains, sir? Digestive glands. Picture contains what, sir? Digestive glands. What picture is having, sir? Digestive glands. Picture contains digestive glands. Is it okay? Now listen here. Sir, this nectar glands and digestive glands. What and what, sir? These nectar glands and digestive glands, these are special type of tissues. What are these, sir? Special type of tissues. What and what, sir? Nectar glands. Nectar glands. What more? And digestive glands. Digestive glands. These nectar glands and digestive glands, these are a special type of tissues. These are special type of tissues. These are special type of tissues. Sir, name itself indicates digestive glands means what they produce as they produce as digestive enzymes. What they produce as digestive enzymes, produce as digestive enzymes. Digestive glands. What, sir? Digestive glands produces what, sir? Digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes such as proteolytic enzymes. What are the enzymes called as proteolytic enzymes? Another name for proteolytic enzymes is proteases. What is another name for proteolytic enzymes? Proteases. Name itself indicates proteolytic enzymes. Lytic means break. It means these enzymes breaks proteins. What these enzymes breaks, sir? Proteins. These enzymes breaks proteins. Is it okay? Right? Now listen here. Sir, this picture, now it is having what, sir? Digestive enzymes. Now what it is having, sir? Digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes. Okay. Now listen here. Sir, this lid attracted the insect, sir. This insect which is attracted by the lid, that insect enters into the picture, sir. It enters into the picture. Once it enters into the picture, the digestive enzymes, what is that enzyme name? Proteolytic enzymes. That proteolytic enzymes, they breaks the insect proteins. Which enzymes, sir? Proteolytic enzymes. What they are doing? They are breaking the insect proteins. Therefore, insect proteins. These insect proteins are digested. These insect proteins are digested by which enzymes, sir? Proteolytic enzyme, right? Proteolytic enzymes. Now you tell me, proteins means made up of amino acids, right? When these insect proteins are digested by proteolytic enzymes, what we are going to get? Amino acids. What we are getting, sir? Amino acids. Sir, amino acids contains nitrogen. Amino acids contains what, sir? Nitrogen. Amino acids contains nitrogen. The nitrogen present in amino acids. Nitrogen present in amino acids absorbed by the plant. Plant is going to absorb that nitrogen. Now you tell me, plant got nitrogen from where? Amino acids. Amino acids of which proteins, sir? Insects proteins. It means the plant is depending on insects for nitrogen. Yes or no? Here which proteins are digested, sir? Insect proteins are digested. Sir, is this digestion taken place inside the cell? No. Therefore, this digestion is called as extracellular digestion. Therefore, in picture, in what, sir? Picture, right? Extracellular digestion takes place. In picture, what takes place, sir? Extracellular digestion. Extracellular digestion takes place. Name itself indicates extracellular, right? Digestion which takes place outside the cell. Digestion which takes place outside the cell. That digestion is called as extracellular digestion. Is it okay? Therefore, in insectivorous plants, which type of digestion takes place, sir? Extracellular digestion takes place. Now listen here, sir, in the case of Nepenthes, you are going to see three type of leaf modifications. Three types of leaf modifications. What, sir? Number one, phyllodes. Number two, leaf tendrils. Right? Number three, pitcher. Sir, this pitcher, right, what, sir? Pitcher is nothing but modified what, sir? Leaf lamina. Modified what, sir? Leaf lamina. Yes or no? Therefore, in case of which plant, sir? Nepenthes. In Nepenthes. In what, sir? Nepenthes. In Nepenthes, what are the leaf modifications? In Nepenthes, leaf modifications that are seen are, number one, first one is a phyllodes, right? Second one is a leaf tendril. What it is, sir? Leaf tendril. Leaf tendril. And third one is trap leaves. Which leaves, sir? Trap leaves. Therefore, in case of Nepenthes, you are going to see which leaf modifications, phylloid, leaf tendril, and what's a trap leaves. What is the meaning of trap leaf? Trap leaf means nothing but to trap the insects. Leaves are modified. To trap the insect, what are modified? Leaves are modified. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, here who is trapping the leaves, sir? Pitcher. Is it okay? Right. Therefore, in case of Nepenthes, what is modified into a trap? Leaf lamina is modified into a trap. Therefore, leaf lamina is modified into a trap in the case of what, sir? Nepenthes. In Nepenthes, leaf lamina is modified into a trap. Into a trap. Sir, leaf of Nepenthes shows a division of labor. Division of labor. Work is equally distributed. Is it okay? Therefore, leaf of Nepenthes plant shows division of labor. Division of labor, right? Second example. Go for the second example, right? What is the second example? For insectivorous plants, Utricularia, right? Utricularia. Sir, what is the common name of Utricularia, sir? Bladder. Bladderwort. Bladderwort. Is it okay? Right? Now, listen here. Sir, this Utricularia, it is a hydrophyte, sir. Utricularia is which plant, sir? It is a hydrophyte. But hydrophytes are of how many types? 5 types. This is a submerged suspended hydrophyte. It is a submerged suspended hydrophyte. Who is a submerged suspended hydrophyte? Utricularia is a submerged suspended hydrophyte. Utricularia is without roots, sir. Therefore, it is with roots or without roots, sir? It is without roots. Therefore, it is rootless. Therefore, Utricularia is a submerged, suspended, rootless, insectivorous hydrophytic plant. Submerged, suspended, right, rootless, insectivorous hydrophytic plant. What it is? Utricularia. Sir, in case of Utricularia, leaf modified into bladder. What is modified into bladder? Leaf is modified. Leaf is modified into bladder. Sir, this bladder contains a small door with a what's a small door. Is it okay? Right? This is concerned to which plant, sir? Utricularia. Right? Now go for number 3, third example. What is the third example, sir? Drosera. Right? Drosera. Sir, this Drosera, what is the common name, sir? Sundew plant. What is its common name, sir? Sundew plant. Sundew plant. Sir, if you see the leaf of this Drosera plant, if you see the leaf of the Drosera plant, it's like a spatula. Spatula means a spoon. Okay, right? Therefore, if you see the leaf of Drosera plant, how it will be, sir? In the form of a spatula. Okay, and on the leaf lamina, you are going to see many tentacles. What are present on the leaf lamina, sir? Many tentacles are present. Many tentacles are present. Is it okay? Right. When insect comes and sits on the leaf lamina, these tentacles, what, sir? These tentacles, they will hold the insect. They are going to hold the insect. Is it okay? For example, if this is the leaf lamina and these are what, sir? Tentacles. These are what, sir? Tentacles. Right? When insect comes and sits on the leaf lamina, what happens? These tentacles will hold the insect. The tentacles are going to hold the insect. This is in the case of what, sir? Drosera. In the case of Drosera. Is it okay? Right. Now go for number 4, fourth one. What, sir? Dionia. Dionia. Sir, what is the common name of Dionia, sir? Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. What is the speciality of this Dionia plant means? See, in the case of Dionia plant, lamina is bilobed. Bi means how many? Two. Two lobes are present. 1, 2. Therefore, lamina is bilobed. Lamina is bilobed. When insect comes and sits on the lamina, this lobes closes. What are going to close, sir? What are going to close? These lobes are going to close. So automatically the insect gets trapped. Yes or no? Therefore, in case of which plant, sir? In case of Dionia, there is a Venus flytrap. What is happening? Right, when insect comes and sits on the lamina, this lobes gets closed. Lobes gets closed. So automatically insect proteins gets digested by the digestive enzyme, secreted by digestive glands. Remaining process is the same. Is it okay? Right. Therefore, in case of which plants, sir? Dionia, right, lamina is bilobed. Lamina is bilobed. Is it clear? With this, we completed trap leaves. We are left with absorbing leaves. Tomorrow we will complete this absorbing leaves. Right. Thank you.